الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان.
You're all welcome to our session today. Welcome, Hajia Hannatu. Please, I would like to give the rest 5 minutes, but as we are waiting for them, let's enjoy this beautiful recitation.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والنجم إذا هوى ما ضل صاحبكم وما غوى وما ينطق عن الهوى.
Warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I think we've already exhausted our 5 minutes, so we'll start so that the others can join us. You're all welcome to today's AN-NUR lecture. You're all welcome. I'm very, very thrilled and happy that you decided to join this session today. Trust me, you are not going to regret it at all. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. So before we start, I would like to call Ustaz Abdul Aziz to give us a short prayer, an opening prayer, so that we can start. Abdul Aziz, please, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, please, can you hear me, Sister Amina?
Yes, please, I can hear you. Wa alaikum assalam
Wa alaikum assalam
wa
wa
rahmatullahi
rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Oh, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahman Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Allahumma sholli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman katsiran. Amin.
Ameen. Thank you very much, Abdul Aziz. I really like the fact that you started with Surah Al-Fatiha. We all know that Al-Fatiha means the opening, and of course, we started with it. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much, Jazakallah khair, for the opening prayer. A brief overview of how our lectures is going to be today. So we'll be having, we've already started a welcome, which has been done by me. Ustad Abdulaziz has given us an opening prayer. Then a brief biography of Hanatu. Then we continue from there. Okay, so but before we continue with that, I would want to ask one or two people. I want this session to be an interactive one. So I would like to add one or two people. A question, then we can just start, just so that we can stir the atmosphere a bit, then we can continue from there. So please, when I call you, I will unmute you, then you talk. Okay. I hope we are all here. Okay, so I'll start with okay, Hajia, okay, Maida. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, Maida, please, can you hear me? Are you speaking? Okay, so I think, I don't know if it's from my end.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, yes. Finally. So I wanted to, I don't know, I think today my network is not very good here, but okay, yes, it might be from my end also. Sorry about that, Maida. We'll get back to that. So like I was saying, a brief introduction for, okay, sorry about that. I don't know, but it looks like today the network is not very good at my end. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so like I was saying, that from the biography, we can see that Hajia Hannatu has a lot going on. She's actually doing a lot for the Muslim Ummah, and we pray that Allah bless her with a lot of knowledge, and so that she'll be able to help others with regards to an area. Okay then, so without further ado, I leave the baton to you, Hajia. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Can you all see me? And am I audible?
You are audible, but I can't see you. I don't know for the others. Please, if you can see her, kindly let us know. Abdulaziz, please, can you see her?
No, please, I can't see her, but I can hear her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The screen, it looks black. It's not showing your face, actually showing a black screen.
That's black screen?
The picture, the video. Yeah, that's your video. I don't know how, but maybe it's the network. Sometimes it happens.
You still can't see me because my video is on.
Yes, I can't see you, but I think it's a network issue. Okay. We can continue.
Okay, once you can hear me, I think we're fine. We're good to go. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. All praise are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has graced us with the favor of Islam and sent to us the seal of the prophets and the most noble of messengers, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May the peace, blessings, and salutations be upon the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his companions, his household, and all Muslims who existed then, now, and until the day of Qiyamah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My dear Muslim brothers and sisters, today is a very special day for all of us, and I'm happy to be with you on this very special day in the month of Ramadan to discuss the need to uphold ties of sisterhood in Islam. Please, am I still audible? Let me know if it's all going on well.
Yes, please. You're very
okay.
audible.
To begin with, let me say, what is Islam? How do we all understand Islam as Muslims? Sisters, brothers, men, women, how do we all understand Islam? Can I have two people? I want it to be as interactive as ever. Can I have two people tell me what Islam, I mean, in their own view, what they think Islam is? We are all Muslims. I just want to hear from two people. No answer is wrong. No answer that will come from anybody would be wrong. We are all Muslims, and I don't think there wouldn't be a wrong answer. So let me know, what is Islam in your own perspective? Can I start with you, Amina? Sister Amina, what is Islam?
So for me, Islam is total submission to the will of Allah, meaning that whatever that has been said in the Quran and Hadith, we follow it, and it guides us, it guides our lifestyle, whatever we do in this world, and it becomes we are able to get the reward in the year after.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Who else? We are balancing the equation. Brother Salim, I can see Brother Salim, I can see Brother Abdul Aziz. Yes. I can see Brother Al-Hassan Nuhu. Maida is around. Maida, assalamu alaikum. Yes, Brother Abdul Aziz. What?
Hajia.
Yes, MashaAllah. Yes, so what is Islam, Brother Abdul Aziz? So anybody can take it up.
Okay, so when we say Islam, we have the understanding
Okay, if Brother Abdulaziz's connection is poor, anybody can take it up. So we move on.
submitting to the command and the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that in that we can also get peace.
That is very true. That is very true. All your answers are correct. Yes, it is true. Islam is a way of life. Islam is a way of life. Why do we say Islam is a way of life? It's a way of life because it governs our actions. It governs the way we speak, the way we walk, how we relate to one another, what we eat, what we should cook on a daily basis, because it is Islam that enjoins us to add a little more food, a little more rice or whatever, a little more water to the soup, so that at least we can ensure that our neighbors have eaten before we go to bed. We have to ensure that. It governs what we wear, everything. And for that, when we do that, then certainly we are submitting ourselves to the will of Allah, because that is what Allah has enjoined us to do. Now, it is the same Islam that has also enjoined on us, to uphold social ties. It is very, very important, whether it is with your family, immediate family, relatives, distant relatives, society, community. Allah enjoins us to do that. I'll touch on Surah Al-Nisa. We all know as women, as Muslims, Surah Al-Nisa is one chapter that has been dedicated for women. And as women, we are already empowered. And I don't think anybody will now tell me that he or she is now going to empower me. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already empowered us. Our empowerment is divine. As women, our empowerment has been conferred on us divinely by Allah, and it's not from mankind. It can never be from mankind. We are empowered by the rights guaranteed us by Allah, who has enshrined same in Surah Al-Nisa, Quran chapter 4, a chapter which has been dedicated to Muslim women. And so I think at this juncture, I can say that we are indeed pearls of An-NUR. We are so special in the eyes of Allah. The topic for today, and I think I saw pearls of An-NUR, it fits us so well if we just oppose it with Surah Al-Nisa. The need to uphold ties of sisterhood in Islam is very, very important as Muslims. You see, the central theme of Surah Al-Nisa is family, whether immediate, like I've mentioned, distant, community, while also emphasizing on the bonds of family and society. The surah itself, if we can look at it, begins with a reminder that humanity evolved from a single couple, Hawa and Adam, alayhi salam. And as a result of our common ancestors, we must maintain kinship ties. And kinship ties is general. Yes, that is where you have blood relations and whatever. But if we look at our ancestry and the fact that we are one, the fact that we are, as women, as Muslim women, we are sisters, then it behoves on us to maintain the ties of sisterhood also. So maintaining ties, whether through blood relations or not, would certainly emanate from love. Loving a sister for the sake of Allah. Are we all aligned? Are we on the same page? Are we all here? Are you with me?
Yes, please, Hajia, we can hear you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Loving a sister for the sake of Allah. Loving a sister, knowing that you are seeking the pleasure of Allah alone, while focusing on your reward in the hereafter. If you know that the life of this dunya is, is ephemeral, it's short, it's a life that we would live, very soon, then all these will be for the sake of Allah and not for a reward in this dunya. The bond that we share as women, as sisters, or with a sister must be a very special one based on faith. A bond that seeks to uplift each other in spirituality. And for me, this is very important, the aspect of spirituality. As women, as sisters, we have rights over each other, for which reason it's our duty to uplift, one another. We have to lift each other up. And when I say lift each other up, I mean it in the right sense of the word, to lift each other up and not to size each other up. I'm sure you know the difference. You're lifting somebody up, but then as women, sometimes we try to size our fellow women up, which is not good. Let us know that by lifting each other up, we lift ourselves up. If you lift a sister up, you lift yourself up. We must not try to outshine one another. Look, in the evening, in the night, let us all go out there and look at the stars. Let us look at the stars in the sky. And you will know that there are so many skies, we can't even count them. Each of them, trying to shine in its own way, and then helping the other stars also to shine. The sky would have been dark with only one star. That is why I'm emphasizing on trying or striving to lift a sister up and not try to outshine her. If you love your sister for the sake of Allah, you will certainly try, you will strive to know your sister, you will try to be your sister, be in her shoes, and raise them all up. We were not all created equally, you know that. Allah did not create human beings equally. And Allah has emphasized or empowered, Allah has rather empowered each and every one of us with a special attribute. Just like products or services, they all have their unique selling attributes, which marketers use to differentiate one product or service from the other. It is the same with us human beings. That's the way Allah created us. And now the Holy Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has said that on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will announce, where are those persons who used to love each other for the sake of my pleasure, that is Allah's pleasure. This day, I'm going to shelter them in the shade I have provided. Today, there is no shade except my shade. Do you want to be in that shade on the day of Qiyamah, on the day of judgment? If we want to be in that shade or under that shade, then we have to move along with our sisters. When we are moving, we should hold their hands and move along with them. We should not try to outshine them. If the bond of sisterhood is strong, we will know one another's deficiencies and strive to make them up. Look, there are a lot of women out there, a lot of our sisters who are deficient in so many ways. And it is up to us to fill in those gaps. But how can we do that? We have to seek knowledge first. Knowledge is key. We also have to know We have to know that these sisters have certain deficiencies and we have to come out and help them out. But if we don't get closer to them, how can we know? There's no way we can know. Most of our sisters have emotional problems, psychological, spiritual, financial, health, and even what have you. But how would we know this? If we don't get close, we would never know that. So in order to uphold ties of sisterhood, we must endeavor to learn and impart knowledge in every aspect of life. Number one, spirituality. Look, Nana Aisha radiallahu anha, wife of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, within the sphere of Islam, stands out extraordinarily as a woman of notable intelligence, whose intellectual gifts were fittingly utilized in the service or in the cause of Islam. She was a wonderful woman. I'm sure we all know about Nana Aisha radiallahu anha. Nana Aisha radiallahu anha, she survived the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam by almost 50 years after he passed away. And I think we all know how close the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was with Nana Aisha. And during that period, the period that she survived him, she became a great and authentic source of religious learning, a citadel of learning for the Muslim Ummah, a citadel of learning for the community, for the Muslim Ummah, for the Muslim community then. And I think you and I are benefiting from all that Nana Aisha was able to record today. Why did this happen? This is because of the accuracy with which, she had preserved the speeches, conversations, and sayings of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in memory. She had committed so many of these in memory. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes, okay, thank you. And in all the hadiths that we have today, Nana Aisha related to around 2,210 of all the hadiths that we have. 2,210 we learned can be attributed to Nana Aisha's memorization. She was extraordinarily gifted to formulate laws from these hadiths, or the sayings or traditions or conversations that she had recorded from her husband, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it is reported that no less than a quarter of the Sharia injunctions that we have today have been derived from her narrations. Her knowledge and deep understanding in religious matters was so established that whenever the companions of the Prophet found themselves in any disagreement over religious matters, they would not hesitate but seek assistance from Nana Aisha. What a remarkable woman. Takbir. Now, as women, as sisters, have we emulated the example of Nana Aisha? How can we uphold the ties of sisterhood if there is no knowledge sharing? Like what Nana Aisha did, for which reason we have 2,210 hadiths related to her or attributed to her recordings and memorizations of conversations, of sayings, of traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Have we made it easy for our sisters to approach us with questions bordering on religion, bordering on social life, health, etc.? Have we made it easy for sisters to approach us anywhere they find us to seek for knowledge, more knowledge about the deen or anything at all? Have we made that easy for them? Uthman radiallahu anhum narrated that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "The best among you are those who learn the Quran and teach it." And I will not even limit it to just the Quran. It can be anything, the hadith, anything that bothers on the economy, social life, anything at all that would benefit us in this dunya and akhirah. I think that it is high time we engaged ourselves more in spiritual chit-chats, because there is sweetness in spirituality, there is sweetness in Iman. Anyone who shows the way to someone, to something good, has the same reward as the person who does it. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that the best sadaqah is a Muslim who learns the deen and then teaches it to his brother or sister. For me, anywhere I see a hadith that talks about brother, I think the same goes for a sister. So as sisters, what are we doing to help our fellow sisters so that we can keep, we can uphold, we can maintain, we can enhance the ties of sisterhood? By getting close to uphold the ties of sisterhood, we will know that our sisters have problems. How many times do we visit our sisters? We only meet at social gatherings, and after that, we all go back home. But if we take time off to visit, then we would know that they have emotional problems, marital problems, financial, and what have you. There are issues that sisters want to voice out, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, but cannot find anybody close enough to pour their hearts out. There is a lacuna, a gaping hole in our relationships as sisters, and we must admit that. We should have time for our sisters. And there's one thing that is more important. When our sisters approach us and pour their hearts out, when they find our shoulders comfortable enough to cry on, are we able to keep their secrets? Are we able to keep their secrets? Do we strive to seek for solutions and fill their hearts with joy and peace? The joy and peace that they are yearning for which reason they reached out to us? Are we able to grant them that? Or we don't make any painstaking efforts, but rather spread the news and betray the trust that they have reposed in us? How then can we uphold the ties of sisterhood? The ties will certainly break. We will break that front. She cannot trust you anymore. Are we always ready to share, to help our sisters out financially? Are we ready to share, no matter how little we have? Are we ready to share what we have with our sisters to get them out of some kind of problem, to be able to put food on their table, to help them with their livelihood, their daily lives? Are we able to share? Or we do it and then later on, spread it, tell the whole world, I did this for her. Oh, have you seen this dress she's wearing? I even gave it to her. Have you seen this hijab? I gave it to her. No, we cannot uphold the ties of sisterhood if we do that. Please, let us strive to hold it up and not break it. That is what Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam expect of us. When a sister entrusts us with her marital problems because she needs somebody to advise her, she doesn't want to leave the marriage, she wants to be in there, but then she needs some piece of advice. Do you make matters worse, by going behind her to lie, by going behind her to make false accusations, by going behind her unknowingly to her to reach out to the husband to say things that you don't even know? Do you do that? Or you help to solve the problem and try to make, husband and wife the coolness of each other's eyes? Is that what you do? Or do you try to patch them up, to bring them together? And remember, Rasul is said to believe until he wants for his brother what he wants for himself. Did you hear me on that? I think my internet was acting up. I was saying that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that none of you can truly be said to be a believer or believe until he wants for his brother what he wants for himself. And for me, anyway, I see a brother, a sister can also fit in there.
Salam alaikum, Hajia. I think you've muted yourself. Okay.
Sorry. Back. So my dear brothers and sisters, my sisters, let us be serious in our dealings with our sisters so that we can uphold the ties of sisterhood. There's one thing that is very, very important, and I have to mention it here. Look, when we talk of marriage, when we talk of men, let me ask this question rather. How many of us here, from your heart of hearts, sincerely, from your heart of hearts, deep down, if your husband should come home and tell you, sweetheart Maida, sweetheart Amina, you know, there's this widow we've been helping around here. There's this woman who is divorced. I know you've been helping me to help her. Sometimes you remind me to even take foodstuffs to her, to pay her children's school fees, to help her out and all that. Don't you think that if I bring her home, if I marry her, in addition to you, so you live as sisters in Islam, don't you think that it will be better for all of us? Don't you think that that woman would be, I would be giving her some sort of social, security? Don't you think that would be better? Better than, leaving our neighbors to be kind of suspicious when you, Sister Maida, sweetheart Amina, you know that I have nothing doing with that woman, but at least if I bring her home, it will be the best for us in the sight of Allah and then the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Please, my sisters on this Zoom platform, what will be your answer if your husband approaches you and tells you this? Let me know. I know it's a difficult one. Sister, I mean, I can see you. It's rather unfortunate. My video is still on. My video is still on, but I don't know why you can't see me.
Yeah, I don't know.
My video is still on. Yes, it's still on. Okay, I'm trying to stop the video so you tell me what you see. Yes, it is. Yes, it has. The bar is on now, and let me click it again. It's off now, so you're supposed to see me.
But unfortunately, it's black that I'm seeing, the black screen.
Yes,
I have okay, maybe you can check the video settings, and if you chose a virtual background, you just do away with the virtual background and then just do video. Maybe that will work.
I don't even know where I have touched now, and
just
okay,
on the video icon there is an arrow.
Yes, okay,
just click on that arrow. If it is on blur my background, just unclick it and see if it works.
Okay, it has choose virtual background, choose video filter, videos. Okay, video settings. Let me see. Yes, the video is on. Is it okay now?
I also no.
No.
So what's
no? I didn't.
Is it on integrated webcam?
I went to settings and it is on video. No, there's on integrated webcam, original ratio, HD. None of them is clicked there. Nothing has been clicked there. Mirror okay, my so video. Okay, my video, mirror my video, touch up my appearance, adjust for low lights.
So click on mirror my.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay, Hajia, are you using a laptop to do the presentation?
Yes, I'm using a laptop.
Okay, some of these laptops do have a physical shuttered, it's like a curtain, but it's physical that you can push, in either direction. So I don't know if yours has something like that.
No.
You don't see anything around the camera hole that looks like something you can hold on to, to push back and forth.
No. Okay, let's continue. I'm
getting the feedback of host disabled attendee screen. So I don't know if the host has disabled it. That's why she can't share.
I'm not even doing a PowerPoint presentation, but like for me, I think you can't see me.
Yes, no, we can't see you. It's the video that we're talking about here.
Yes. Okay, so let me continue. I don't know. Oh. Okay, I will have it checked for me later for future future, programs. Yes. So I asked the question and let's see.
Yeah. So I'll just pick somebody at random so that somebody who hasn't talked today. So it's always the ladies, right? The women.
Yes.
So
yes.
Hannatu Ibrahim. So please, this question goes to you, honestly. So please, if you can hear me, kindly unmute yourself. There is no right or wrong answer to this. We just want an honest answer. Assalamu alaikum, Zulaiha. Okay, so, okay, I think, Zulaiha, if you can hear me, we are still waiting on you, but before that, we can also mention a different person, Jamila. Assalamu alaikum, Jamila. Okay. So played a few games. We played Fulham away. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. That's okay. The ladies are not talking. Hajia Maida, we are back to you. Please, are you here with us?
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Okay, so I'm here, but I think the question is a tough one, honestly.
It is?
Oh, yeah, it is. A lot of factors will determine as to which way you would go. But then all in all, I think if you want to look at the ideal situation, it would be best to allow her to be added on. Yeah, but then as humans, sometimes the fear of unknown relations and how things would go would make you hesitate a bit. But we all pray that Allah gives us the iman to get there, to be able to accept this in good faith. But then, in all honesty, it's not a bad thing. You get it. And it goes back to the sisterhood in Islam. You get it. If we are all to relate to each other as sisters in Islam and hoping to attain Jannah, then I think there shouldn't be a problem. But we have cases, we have observations in our society where the person coming in is rather planning on pushing you out.
Exactly.
You get it. Exactly. So we will get there as a society when we we uphold the sisterhood thing in the right direction, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Thank you, Hajia Maida. That's interesting. Actually, when Ajam posed that question, I was like, this is very hard, you know, coming from this our contemporary parts of the world. You realize that sometimes before you even decide to make this decision, you have a lot thinking about, and it's not just about maybe what the person comes in with, but maybe your experience that has been exposed to in line with being in that part, like in that part of the marriage. Maybe as a child you were in this part of the marriage and it didn't go so well for you. So when that question is actually posed to you, it becomes a threat to you. So for me, that was what my mind went to. Actually, that was what I was thinking about. So Hajia, please, you can come in.
Yes, thank you so much, Sister Maida to Sister Abina. I was laughing here, but Maida to yes, your answer, it's a good one. Excellent. The fear of the unknown. But then, did we know that Allah was going to create us? When we wake up in the morning, we don't even know we don't even know what. We live by the day, just the way Allah wants it. It is His will that is always done. You see, so yeah, I know it's a tough one. It's a difficult one. When you pose this question to sisters, to women, you cannot have, if you're not lucky, I'm sure if this thing was physical, I would have seen the expressions on people's faces. The men would have been happy. I know the men are laughing, they are giggling, they are sending WhatsApp to each other and say that, hey, we are going to marry 2233. They are happy. You see, yes, but yeah, I know. But it's a form of social security. It's a difficult one. I will not deny it's a difficult one. But there are some women who would heartily, suggest that to their husbands. But some men sometimes they act hypocritically, even when they have been presented with the opportunity. Even when they have been presented with the opportunity, they pretend, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't marry another woman when you are here. No, you see, but there's a reason for that. So would you rather your husband passes by that widow's house from his way from work, drops some foodstuffs, drops something, picks her children to school, bring them back, maybe the children attend the same school with his children, or out of his own way, he wants to just do her that favor, and then take off some of the burden of the mother. Before you know it, suspicion, people will start talking. We've been seeing your husband. You probably may have known that he does that. But we are like Sister Maida said, we are human. Today, this person is saying it. The next day, another person is saying, men will come with you with the news. Women, children, the elderly, everybody comes in with, you are human. And the hearts, we should all know that the heart contains no bone. The houses will say that Zuchiabe the kashi. There's no bone in there. It's all flesh. It's so soft. One day you might just react. So to avoid all that, a wise man may approach his wife on this. It will be very good for a sister to receive another sister into her home, to welcome her heartily and not see her as a rival. I know that is the word that women want to use, a rival. They don't want to say a co-wife or even a sister. A co-wife, a sister with whom, you live together, and by the power, by the strength of Allah, both you and the new sister, your husband and children, if any, will strive and struggle for Jannah together. You just have to be sincere. You just have to be open by sharing, one another's pain as wives of one man. Imagine if you have somebody, sometimes we need somebody. When you go to some homes, it is just so beautiful. But because it is not common, we don't see it. But when you go to Northern Nigeria, I mean, it is common. Even in Ghana, I have seen a woman who raised the children of her co-wife or her sister. They slept in her room. They did everything. And if you didn't know that they were not her children, her biological children, if nobody told you, there's no way, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know at all. She was just doing it for the sake of Allah. And it's not that she didn't have children of her own. She even had more children than the other one. The other one was always going to work, but she took it upon herself. Honestly, if you didn't know, you would think that all the children are hers. I have seen that in many homes. Look, do you know how painful it is to be single? Because a man has married you, he has given you shelter, he does everything. There's somebody out there in the cold. Do you know how painful it is to be single? When a woman is divorced or widowed, so society looks at her with so much disdain, as if we are still in the period of Jahiliyyah, the day of ignorance. That is what happens in our society. Imam Bukhari and Imam Muslim narrated in one of their hadith that the Muslims in their mutual love, kindness, and compassion are like the human body, where when one of its parts is in agony, the entire body feels the pain, both in sleeplessness and fever. So if we feel our sister's pain, we will do all it takes to alleviate it. Our sisters' sleepless nights should keep us awake. Our sisters' sleepless nights should keep us awake. We should be thinking about them in this aspect of their lives. Before I conclude, I would like to say something about WhatsApp platforms. WhatsApp platforms. I'm sure most of us are on WhatsApp platforms. Is there anybody here who is not on a WhatsApp platform? Yes, so, society has evolved. Yes, society has evolved. Every aspect of social life has evolved. So physical, visiting or physical visitations and what have you have been largely reduced to, WhatsApp groups. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. If for some reason our social lives has become, so mixed up, so busy, we are so busy that it is difficult for us to visit our neighbors, people in the community, to see for ourselves who are the less privileged, the ones that we have to even share food with, the ones that we have to help clothe and all that. And we now find ourselves on WhatsApp groups, because these days with the WhatsApp groups, I'm sure we all know that it's not just the educated, and WhatsApp platforms have rather come to, enlighten most people who hitherto were not even educated. Because now they can text with the help of how do you call it? Artificial intelligence on their phones and all that, which helps them with the words and all that. They can text and do all sorts of things. So it's a good thing. But so whether we know it or not, these WhatsApp platforms have all been ways to uphold ties of sisterhood, especially those that are just, that have only sisters or women. Of course, there have been ways to uphold or bond us together as women. Some are able to pour their hearts out on the page, and they get the needed advice. It could be emotional, it could bother on health or any other issue. It could be an old girls platform, family, close relations. Now everybody is coming up with one group or the other. But my only problem is that most of them are not sustainable. When we start, it is, oh, let's do this, we are doing this, oh, let us lay down the rules, let us do this. Okay, when someone is bereaved, when someone does it, we'll all make contributions, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, the fourth one, nobody wants to do anything to help. Even if, let's say, the fourth or fifth person has been so, has been so keen on helping out with first, second, third, whatever contributions or what, you see that when it gets to that person, so these are things that discourage some sisters from WhatsApp groups or chat rooms or platforms or whatever name you may want to call it. And then secondly, when there is a little misunderstanding, you find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sisters forming another group. Before you know it, Maidatu left. Hajia Hannatu left. Sister Amina left. And then you see that they form another group. But they still solicit for information from the mother group, and they do things behind the mother group, so these things are not encouraging. So you have a WhatsApp group, that is as healthy as anything. Everything seems to be going on well, and then suddenly you find many sisters off it. You should know that they have formed another group. Have we upheld the ties of sisterhood? No, we have broken it. We have broken the tie. So please, let us be mindful of that. These are some of the little things we do that break our fronts as sisters. We must stay strong. We must bond and uphold the ties of sisterhood to make us, to enable us make meaningful contribution to both society and national development. Look, as women, we have a major role to play in society, from the family level. As a Muslim, you begin as a child or a daughter, you transition into marriage and become a wife, inshallah. You transition into motherhood, become a mother, inshallah. And at all these different stages, you have different roles to play. And each role contributes meaningfully to societal development. So let us strive to uphold the ties of sisterhood. Let us keep the sisterhood going. Let us not try to break our fronts, because Allah will not be pleased with us. Whatever we do for a sister, we should know that we are doing it for the sake of Allah. Thank you so much. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wassalatu wassalamu ala al-mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Hajia. So I have learned quite a lot of things today, and I know you have also learned a lot of things. So we have 5 to 10 minutes for questions. So please, if you have any questions, you can kindly click on the icon reaction button to raise your hand. Then we continue from there. But as we are going on with that, I have a question. Okay, so I think Ibrahim Asante, you can please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Hajia, and everybody, I think it was insightful with your presentation or your nasiha. And I would have loved to have majority of the ladies on this page. I think we are just about 12 participants or something like that. And majority of us are men or we are guys. So that's the deficit. But inshallah, I think we have a duty to carry it on, and we also will use it as brothers or as siblings. We have to give it to our sisters and pass it on to our wives and even to our daughters as we embark on this journey of building a strong society for the general good of the Muslim Ummah and also for the dunya as well. Critically, you mentioned the issue of plural marriage, and this is not in any way, and I hope this is not in any way to punch holes in your presentation. I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate here and then ask some questions. I have answers to them, but I would just want to hear from you as well. Did you, because I left for like 2 minutes, so I missed that part. Were you keen on the issue of marrying a widow, or it's about plural marriage? Because in your presentation with Surah An-Nisa, it was clearly stated, and the third verse in that chapter talks clearly about mathna wa thalatha wa rubai. You know, and also it goes on to talk about if you are not just, then marry just one, which is clearly stated. Why do sisters always look at this surah, extract the benefits, and go quiet on this chapter? Sorry, on this verse, ayah, if I...
Okay, please, are you done with your question, or you would want to add?
I would just want, yes, I would like Hajia to respond so that if there are follow-ups or somebody else can chip in. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibrahim Asanti. Salam alaikum, Hajia.
Wa alaikum salam. Sister Amina. Yes, I'm here.
Please, I hope you heard Ibrahim Asanti's question.
Yes, I did. I heard him. And if you fear that you shall not be able to deal justly with the orphan girls, then marry other women of your choice, 2 or 3 or 4. But if you fear that you shall not be able to deal justly with them, then only one, or slaves that your right hands possess. That is nearer to prevent you from doing injustice. That is nearer to prevent you from doing injustice. If we look at the ayah or this injunction itself, Brother Ibrahim, right? I don't think that it is not obligatory. It is permissible. It is not obligatory. And so when Allah is saying that is if you cannot, then only one. That is nearer to prevent you from doing injustice. I wish we could go down. There's a verse that in the same Surah Al-Nisa, Allah talks about the fact that, but He knows that we can. Let me just, I'm sure by the time we're done, I would find it. You know, much as Allah is addressing women or men taking more wives, He's trying to caution them also. Yes, marrying 2 women or 3 or 4 women. It is an art. You're supposed to, much as you leave it in the hands of Allah, if there will be peace in that home, it depends on the man to be just. If the man can be just. Brother Ibrahim, I don't know if you can help me. There is a verse, it follows most of the time we don't get to this verse, or we don't read, or we don't add the verse to verse 3 of Surah Al-Nisa. I remember once in my class, we were having a discussion about this, and it came up. And I brought that verse up, and then another brother argued that it is not anywhere in the Quran, when I knew it was there.
Okay, I'm not even, I don't want to go into the tafsir of, it's mainly a fiqh issue, right? I don't want to go into it now for now, because it's a contentious issue, and
exactly.
And I have a view I don't want to share now. I don't want to even go
please
into
share it. Please share
Oh,
it.
no. Not
Allah
now.
is in own wisdom, eh? Allah in his own wisdom created us, and he knows us.
I think you should share your view. Share your view. Let us learn from it.
Exactly. Because there are
is
some
that
men.
Is that
yes, this is Joe.
Brother Ibrahim, there are some men who have have been able to marry more than one wife and have done it excellently. It means there are men who are just.
Yeah, this is what I think. For me,
yes.
For me, it's not even this is what I think. I think the verse is clear, explicitly clear.
Yes.
You know, Allah has said in the Quran, Allah ya'lam halak wa huwa al-latif al-khabir. Like he's the most subtle and aware. He knows us, and he has. If it was an issue of if or but, you know, clearly he was going to state it clearly that like don't do zina. Those legislation or tashriq have been stated in the Quran explicitly, right? When we try to provide walakin, however, you don't have to do this, you don't have to be just. He knows us. He knows if we are going to be just, he's going to tell you, hey man, you are not going to be up to the tax. So even the issue about plural marriage shouldn't even come in. The last time I was having it in Philadelphia, and we are talking about, you know, people coming from Muslim homes. I mean, reverts, and these sisters will walk up to you and tell you, you know, like you just mentioned, it's painful to be single, and they know that it's painful. They'll come to you and tell you, even if you can give me 2 days of your time, you know, I'll be happy to be a second wife. You understand? And these are not widows, or these are people who have gone past their prime. These are young girls, active now, and are ready to take on because they understand, you know, the deep nature of the verse and what it does to society in the long run. But the environment we have in Africa or in Ghana, let me say in Ghana especially, is that we are so much pinned down by the economic hardship. Everybody is thinking of another woman is coming to, you know, we are stingy. Another woman is coming to take away from my husband. And the perception is that people have used other experiences to bastardize, you know, polygamy, which for me is not the best, you know, approach. It's never the best. I mean, if it's clearly stated in the Quran, we should find means of dealing with it, because even with single marriages, there are issues. You know, there are issues with Geoffrey. What are you doing to your set? Or is it Hajia who is somebody is messing up with the screen? Okay, sorry.
That's margin free.
Is it? Yeah. So
I wanted to share the verse that Hajia was talking about.
Okay.
Yes, but you go on. Whilst I try to share.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to state is that the economic the environment, the cultural environment, has been a stumbling block, and it has affected the thinking, you know, and acceptance of some of these you know, legislations in the Quran. You know, when it goes for ladies, they are quick to use them or to put out or pull out the verses and say yes, you know, and they try to stop men from marrying, and I think it's becoming an issue. But since you mentioned it, that have they considered, or are women considering, and will a woman even say, you know, this is a lady, I feel you are closer to the lady. If you want to have anything to do, can you make it legal, because it's going to protect you in the akhirah, rather than having a haram relationship with this lady. If women are going to stand up and say this is the way forward, then I think we are on course. But when the sisterhood is smiling at you, and then in the background you are telling people, look at this girl, she's trying to take my husband away from me, then I think something is missing, in that aspect. And there was also another aspect you raised, which I think we all must use it in our daily lives, especially those of us with daughters or sisters. We need to push, them to study hard. But to what extent can we have female scholarship, displayed? How should they behave? Is it an issue of them becoming or stealing the limelight from men, or rubbing shoulders with men and competing, with them? Because if you look at some of these issues, it looks like the education we have now is for them to compete with men for status and whatever. But in Islamic history, and even with the text, no woman is supposed to be above the husband, to make the home and society, flow. So I was also interested in knowing to what extent, after acquiring the lineage and everything that you've learned, to what extent are you supposed to be a leader? Are you going to go back and accept what is the previous Ummahatul Mu'minin they did by being in the background, training people and becoming, leaders, like Al-Hakim said in Al-Mustadrak, his book about Aisha, and reading about the tarjumi of Aisha, the biography also, you mentioned narrated over 2,000 hadiths. Is that what we want to do as women in society?
Brother Ibrahim, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your submission. Yes, and I'm sure that is going to help all of us a great deal. Yes, concerning knowledge seeking, so far as Muslim women are concerned, I know the fields of knowledge are open so wide, and the Muslim woman may choose whichever field she wants to, but then she should just be guided by the tenets of Islam in whatever field of knowledge she enters into. But after having attained knowledge whatsoever, you should not forget that you are a Muslim. We are not seeking knowledge to rub shoulders. We shouldn't seek knowledge to rub shoulders with men. No, a woman is a woman. That's why I'm saying that, look, this thing about empowerment, we're already empowered. And in the home, I know this some men who would say that they are men and they are the Megida, and then women are Medaki. And it is a very, very important role. You are the homemaker, the home manager. And for me, that role is very, very, very important. A woman or a mother is a school, like the Arabs would say, Umul Madrasa. And so your role in the home, that should be your primary role. For me, I see my home as my first office. My homemaking, home management, home whatever, my husband, my children, to do with my education. I will do all that I can to please my husband at home, my children, to raise them up, because the training that I will give my children. I say my children, not just my biological children, everybody, it would have a lasting impression on them in the long run. And so whatever we do, the training of children at home, caring for your husband, it should be a duty. It should be like an office. And you would bear with me that a woman who is educated, and is managing her home, home management will not be the same for a woman who is educated. If you have to compare that with someone who is not educated. I hope you understand me. So if you're seeking knowledge because you want to go out there and rub shoulders, you are the best this, and you don't even respect yourself. But no. Look, I have developed an acronym when it comes to my husband. Yes, let me be specific. R-A-U-L, women. Raul, respect. Know that, you know, you're marrying your husband. You're following him into Jannah. You are helping him so that both of you enter Jannah. So marriage for Muslims is an institution on its own. Respect, appreciation, understanding, and love. Have this for your husbands. Respect your man, irrespective of whatever, no matter what, whether he has it or not.
Okay, Hajia, let me just hold you. Let me add this also. At what point, because I've heard a lot of I've heard a lot of people say this: respect is reciprocal. It looks very, from me, my viewpoint is so Western and un-Islamic for me, because it's like my husband doesn't respect me, so me too, I don't respect my husband. I don't know if you've heard of these things.
Yes, I have. But how did that start, or where did it start?
Exactly.
I don't want to go into that one, but all I want to know is...
No, it is general, because let's take it that from the very beginning, we all respected each other. For me, you see, there are certain things that I would not have a problem with. There are certain things that I would not have a problem with, but then it's we have to, you know, draw our sisters in to also understand some of these things. So we want to say that my husband does not respect me, and so I will also not respect him. Were you raised to do that? You were not raised to disrespect people, let alone your husband.
Yeah.
Okay, but then there's always a way. There's, just like they said, there's a way to a man's heart and all those, you know, there's always a way to solve some of these problems. When he doesn't respect you, respect him and respect yourself. Don't throw tantrums. Don't be doing things, casting insinuations here, and no, don't. Because if you do that, then he will not respect you. But if you respect yourself, he would see that, oh, I'm doing all these things, but then she's taking it in good, and you know, he will come around, he will respect you. But if you say that your husband does not respect you, you just have to study him and try to find out what is causing that kind of disrespect. What is causing it? We should always try to know the root cause of problems. That is the only way we can have solutions for them. So for me, I won't do it. If he doesn't respect me, I'm also going to disrespect. I won't do it. I will not disrespect him. And by that way, he will know, oh, yeah, I'm doing this. There are men who, you know, sometimes you don't need to talk. You don't need to say anything. Silence can solve problems. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Hajia.
Okay.
Yes.
So for a woman, Brother Ibrahim, I don't buy the idea, or I don't share in the view that women should seek knowledge. When Nana Aisha was seeking knowledge, don't think that, oh, because she was just memorizing or gathering hadith conversation, memorizing conversations and traditions and all that, she was not educated. She was so highly educated. How many of us have sayings or quotes, 2,210 sayings or quotes on the internet? How many of us have it? We don't have it, but she has it. But we claim we have masters, we have PhD. How many of us have such quotes or research works that we have done, apart from our thesis and whatever, even if it was published? But if you want all those 2,210 hadith, it can be, that is attributed to Nana Aisha. We can find it there. So she's highly educated, but look at how she lived. She lived and made the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam happy. That is when we can say that a woman is educated. But if a woman feels or thinks she's educated and she's walking out there naked and she's talking to everybody by heart, she doesn't respect people. Oh, because I'm this, I'm that, so I won't respect. No, that is, to me, I don't see it as being educated. So let's be guarded, women. Let's be guarded by that, please. Nana Aisha has lived an exemplary life. There are so many of them. Salma, so many of them. Nana Khadija. Look at the way they lived with their husbands. Even if there was nothing at home, they would strive. They would do something. They would do something. They would cook. They would. If you didn't give me, you won't give me money. I'm not going to cook anything. You like doing that? No, please. Let us go in. Let us go in with a different approach. I can see people's hands raised up. Let me just pause here again.
Thank you, Hajia, for the answers. Thank you, Ibrahim, for the question. Also, okay, so I'll ask mine. I'll be the last person to ask the question. So Hajia Maida, please go ahead and ask your question.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Okay, so mine is not really a question, but then I would want to react to what Brother Ibrahim said regarding rubbing shoulders with men. I think sometimes it's people's own insecurity that they feel that when someone is acquiring knowledge, then the person is doing that to fight for power. Because I feel that rubbing shoulders is a negative trait, irrespective of you being a man or a woman. Because if you are a man and you've acquired knowledge and then you are rubbing it like you want to, in a form of a power struggle, then you are not really educated, just as Hajia poised before.
And what knowledge are you talking about here? Nafian or secular education?
Knowledge is knowledge. There is nothing like secular education. If you are learning science, it should be for the sake of Allah, because you are doing it to better yourself and then develop the nation as a whole, the ummah. It's we that we've made this a secular knowledge, Islamic knowledge. No, every aspect of our life is worship. Every aspect. So if you are going out there to even learn business, you have to do it within the tenets of Islam. So for me, I don't categorize knowledge. If you are acquiring knowledge, you have to make sure that as a Muslim, irrespective of your gender, you are doing it in the tenets of Islam. That is the first thing. So,
but sister, not to cut you. You see, the issue about not. Anyway, let me just leave it. Let it slide.
No, Brother Ibrahim, Ibrahim, let me, Maida, please let me just come in. Brother Ibrahim, is it? No. Are you?
Naam.
Is it what the woman uses the knowledge to do after she has acquired it that is a problem, or what? Because if we look at this hadith that said that we should seek knowledge, even if we have to go,
it's true.
Exactly.
It doesn't talk. You see, that's the issue we have now in the Sharia. In the Sharia, you know, first of all, the environment and the way we learn for the women is even questionable. And then two, all these courses we are talking about, going to the highest form, those who went to Harvard, those who went to whatever to do PhD, studying sociology and stuff like that, you know, wallahi, the concept of education, secular education to that extent, largely, even for us men who have gone to that level, most of the things that we've learned, you know, most of the...
Can I support you?
Oh, okay, go ahead, Geoffrey. Geoffrey, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I think the concept of knowledge in Islam is very important. And even apart from the hadith that Rasulullah said we should seek knowledge from cradle to the grave, when the Prophet was talking about the three most important investments any human being must make in the hadith, was the matal insan qatama amaluhu illa min salas. He says, which is the collection and the preservation of knowledge. And I actually asked my Sheikh Salman, who is a muhaddis, is the muhaddis that is an hadith scholar, and I asked him, Sheikh, when the Prophet said, what does it mean? Does it mean just knowledge of Quran, hadith, fiqh, or any and he mentioned any knowledge that is beneficial to mankind. Any knowledge that is beneficial to mankind. So to support Brother Ibrahim, acquisition process should be well before you grow up to acquire what I called Islamic knowledge. That is the knowledge of the sciences, philosophy, sociology. You should have a firm foundation. Your hadith should be solid. So then, as you climb up the ladder to maybe in psychology and other things, you would then be, you can be able to develop filters to be able to remove the impurities. But like what Ibrahim said, if we are just going to leave ourselves, and there are a lot of examples, and I'm sure you can relate. There are a lot of examples of people who have gone to acquire knowledge, and the knowledge has become harm to them because filters. They didn't have filters at the initial stage.
Assalamu alaikum. I think we lost Free. Its network is very bad here. So Hajia Maida, please, would you want to continue with your questions or we move on?
Yes. So I think what Brother Geoffrey added on is just what I'm saying, that acquiring every knowledge comes within the tenets of Islam. So you can't give a blanket statement that when Muslim ladies acquire knowledge to maybe the highest, it makes them no. Then it's just like what people say that, okay, because of the observation of our polygamous marriage, then we should say it's haram or something. Because we can also give a lot of examples of polygamous marriage and even monogamous marriages that are not within what Islam says. You get it? But that is not the problem. The problem is about how we go about it. And it's not a female problem. It's a human problem. What you do with your knowledge comes from your personality. Whether you would use it to smear people's face. So I think that aspect shouldn't be a sole reason why you would want women to be at the background. They shouldn't acquire knowledge and all that. You get it? That's what I want to put across.
Oh no! We are not talking about not acquiring knowledge to a larger extent. We are not talking about that. Sorry if it came across.
But Ibrahim, all what you were saying, that was the process of it. Like
no, that's no. I think I can clearly say that.
I think you shouldn't get Brother Ibrahim wrong. Okay.
Jeff, you call me Ridwan. I feel uncomfortable.
But actually, your name that appeared on the Zoom is Ibrahim. That's why everybody.
No, go ahead. I'll just pull you on there.
Okay, Ridwan, I think we shouldn't get you wrong. It's because of evidences that have actually happened in the past, and there are so many.
It's true.
So now people are very cautious in pushing women to acquire them. I think,
Brother Geoffrey, if you are saying the evidences are so many, can we stand on the same evidences are so many and rubbish, let's say, for polygamy in the first place? Don't we tell people we shouldn't look at the evidences?
Sister Maida, you don't understand me. What I'm saying is that these things that have happened in the past that have made women probably not turn out like the way Islam expects them, does not mean, of course, does not mean that women should not be allowed to pursue education. The point I was making before my line went off is that women, or not just women, but men also, should acquire some basic Islamic knowledge before going on to add those advanced Islamic knowledge that I was talking about. Like before you acquire philosophy, you should have some strong foundation in Hadith and Quran and this some basic. So that when you are building philosophy on it, you can filter, be able to know, oh no, this, what do you call it, Darwin theory and things like that is not consistent with Islam. So you're able to shift it away. But we don't have a system like that, like Rudwan said. We don't have a system like that. Our educational systems, they just what do you call it, so they train people to think westernized, to think modernized.
Absolutely, that's the point.
So, but Geoffrey, I agree with what you are saying. What would have to, how we have to put it is that while you are acquiring the knowledge, you also seek for the Islamic knowledge, because the thing is, that is how we should put it. But then, if we make it look like we have to cut down on this, like, I don't think that's the way.
Of course.
For me, that's how I understood it from here.
Like what you are saying, is a short-term solution to the problem that we are having. So those women that didn't have strong foundation with Islamic knowledge, as they are acquiring other forms of knowledge, they should be able to make efforts to acquire what you call it.
And then this problem is not even. This problem is not even a woman's problem.
Yes, I did mention it.
Exactly.
Yes,
if we are cutting it out because we think
it's not a woman's problem. It's not a woman's problem.
That's what I'm saying. That if we are cutting it off because we think when women go in and finally, because there is no much Islamic Bible, wrap shoulders, then we better cut it for everyone. You get it.
Mashallah, Sister Maida, thanks for your enthusiasm. What really the point is that the reason why even women is so important, right, for women, is that Al-Ummi Madrasati, and Hajia clearly stated that one. For me, you see, when the women are strong, when your child begins to learn diniyat from home before he steps into the secular world of a classroom, wallahi, it's a different feeling than your child going home, because who gives the child breast milk? Me, I carry all my kids around. I'm a doting dad. But when I can't even keep them for very long, because when they cry, the next thing they look for is breast milk, and I don't have it. So that attachment is there. So when we try to say no, going to do your master's to that extent and trying to fight for your PhD, you are better off, getting to the basics, because you have to keep the home. For us, we are just on the battlefield, wallahi, and we are struggling to make ends meet for the family. Some of us, even our Bismillah, Fatiha is not even recited correctly. It's not, because we are chasing the world. And what secular education does to the human being is to deviate. And like Geoffrey was saying, it makes you even forget about the basics of life, or the importance of the Akhirah, why you must attain it. And when the man is wayward and the woman is wayward, then we know how the society is going to behave, and that's how come our society.
Yes, I understand you, Brother Ridwan, or even Brother Ibrahim, but you see, a man being the head of the home, I think, should be the most. If we are to go by that, you get it. Biological, there are some things that are biological that you can't do anything about it, like the breast milk. But nurturing a child is not biological. Both the man and the woman need to be present in a child's life. So if we are so taught, we can't push women to study, let's say, okay, now we are encouraged. And right now you go to our madrasas, I visit madrasas, and I tell you the number of the ratio of women to men. Most times the women are even more than the men.
Yes, it's because we have, you see, important. That's the point.
With this one. People come out and then she's more experienced, let's say she's more knowledgeable in the Islamic stuff. And then she gets paired with a Muslim man that doesn't even know nothing close to. And how do you think they would stay in a home? Because you can see fire and then walk into it. Let me put it that way. So the home will always be hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Because sometimes, even when you want to correct in a very let's say in a very calm way, in a very respectful way, the man already has it in mind that, oh, your bow, you can't rub shoulders, you can't come and be telling me what I do.
You get it. Maida, I think there are some other people who have raised their hand. We should also
yeah, exactly, brother. Yes, we'll have to look for a time for this particular discussion. If we say we are going
Yes.
to continue with, go on and on and on. Hajia Ali, please go ahead with your question.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Okay, so my point is, I can't agree more with what Maida is saying. And then I think one thing I've observed that we focus on is, we always see issues, problems in the society to be a man versus a woman. It has never been that, you get it? And then there was one point Brother Ibrahim made, he said, oh, women rubbing shoulders with men. And I feel what we should focus on now is Islam, like female scholarship in Islam. And then this has been one of the, it has never been an issue in the past because Muslim women have always been custodians of Islamic knowledge. The men have always gone to the women for understanding and then more clarification. And then even after the Prophet's death, the many women companions, okay, especially his wives, were looked upon in asking for knowledge and then in clarifying issues they didn't understand. You get it? And what we should be focusing on, just like Hajia also pointed out, is women now, we should focus on increasing, finding ways to make it easier for women to pursue Islamic scholarship, rather than seeing things as if a woman does this, it's going to, it's haram, it's this, it's that. Yeah. I feel that shouldn't be our focus. You get it?
Thank you, Hajia Halija. I think, okay, my question was that with regards to the part that Hajia mentioned, that we reach out to each other to check out on people, to check out on ourselves, check out on our friends, our family members. But this is the case where you have a friend whom somebody came to you that she has noticed this and that about the person, and it's something that is very disturbing, and the person thinks that you are the person that is very close to him or her, and she thinks you should talk to her. But you are also thinking, okay, the person hasn't brought it to me because she doesn't think it is time for her to open up to me at this point. So how do you go up, or you just wait for the person to come to you? Assalamu alaikum, Hajia.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. In some of these cases, the person might never come and tell you. The person might never come to you because the one who told you, it was just an observation. And that is very good. If we get closer, we can, there are so many things that we can observe. Let me give you an example. It is said, I don't know, that people who have bad, body odor, they don't know that they have it. I don't know how, I mean, people are always so surprised. The people themselves don't know that they have it, because if they knew that they had it, they would have done something about it. And most of the time it is people around. Sometimes you enter an office and then bam, you are greeted with that. And you find out the people in the office, they have noticed it, but nobody can say it. Nobody is able to approach the person and then try to solve the problem. I went to an office, and then this problem was something that a lady's colleagues were battling with, and knowing the way I handle issues. One of them approached me, and so I immediately entered. I noticed, so I went and said, there is this stench here. What is it? They said, they are and then the person was pointed out to me. I have my own ways so I approached her in a nice way. I started, I didn't say it on that day, but then I approached her. You are very, the next time I went there, you are very beautiful. you are this, you are that, you are this, oh, this and that. There's just this thing. I said, you know, this, I mean, I went about it in a way that she herself, because there are some people, if they get to know that other people have noticed, but they have not told them, but gone ahead to tell other people, like in your case, it becomes it becomes a problem. The person might even confront the one who told you and say, why didn't you tell me directly? Why did you tell my friend? Why did you tell my sister? And so once you have been told, you have to approach it in such a way that it should be like you yourself have noticed it. Don't bring in the third party. Because we all have our different, ways of dealing with problems or issues. Even though we are trying to help, the one who told you might end up being in trouble, because she might feel offended that, oh, now so two people have, so what did they say behind me? What did she go to tell Amina when she realized or she noticed this about me? They might have chit-chatted about this before, Amina came to tell me. So you have to approach it your way. It should be it should be your own, how do I put that? Your own assignment. Don't bring your friend or your friend in it. Approach it as if you have noticed it. And for me, when I told this lady about what they had told me, she took it, she didn't take it. I mean, she wasn't upset. I was so lucky she wasn't upset. I told her what to do, and I also, contributed in my own little way. I mean, ways that I know would get her off that kind of problem. And the problem was solved. You see, the some problem was sometimes people can come out and up, just like I was saying, in my delivery. It is not easy for people to come out and tell you what their problems are. But when you get closer, so that person will know that it is because you are close. That is why somebody came to tell you. So why is it that you did not observe this thing and allow someone to observe it and tell you? Do you get me? You should have noticed or observed this yourself. But it is not late. Approach her, I mean, in a way, jovial way, diplomatically, whatever, Kali, and then, try and save her from any embarrassment. Okay?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that.
I think Maria's answer was up. She didn't talk.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Maria's hand up.
Assalamu alaikum.
Maria.
Okay.
Maria,
okay.
Went off. I think Amina's network went off. So
Okay.
Alhamdulillah for today. Basically, I just wanted to say a very big thank you to Hajia for making time for us today. Brother Ibrahim, I think I disagree with you if you say you are more than the females on the platform today. We are far more than you, yes. And even though you tried to take off our conversation to another level, I think maybe
Ibrahim, you are in trouble. You are in trouble.
Try and organize another program. Maybe this time the males should do it. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Maria Brahim. I'm the Amira for Pearls of AN-NUR. Thank you. I just want to thank everyone who joined us the other times and this today as well. It has been a wonderful sections for us. And even though we plan to have 4 lectures this Ramadan, we're able to have 2. But I think, alhamdulillah, we'll build up on it the next time. Maybe we might have physical meetings if Allah counts us among those who are leaving by next Ramadan, inshallah. And we hope to build up on this. I just saw a chat on the, but Ibrahim sent a long chat, but I think maybe we'll talk about that behind closed door. We all know that Khadija was a businesswoman. Today I'm hearing something else, so I would want him to let me know if Khadija inherited the what. I've never read it anywhere before. And not today. It's past time, and some of us
I think Maria, let me help you. I think, like you said, we really need another section for this person.
Exactly.
Yes. So and it's like you guys have come to encroach our meeting and hijack it. But alhamdulillah, thank you all for the support. Jazakumullah khair. We are very grateful.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Maria, too. Can you give me 30 seconds?
Sure.
Please, I want to plead with you all, my sisters on this Zoom platform. Look, in all this, the ultimate goal for all of us is Jannah. Right? In all our dealings in this world, the struggle is for Jannah. In various fields of education, whatever knowledge we acquire, I always sit down and tell myself, look, Allah will not ask me about my PhD, my master, all those other ones. But then in the grave, when we enter the grave, the questions that will keep rolling. Who is your Rab? What is your Deen? And all those things. All these other ones, nobody's going to ask nobody, and unless whatever it is that we learned, we didn't use it in the course of Islam, or we didn't use it justly, or whatever. Yes, so I want to tell my sisters here, those of us who are married, I want to request one thing from you, please. Respect your husbands. Respect your husbands. You are marrying your husbands, you are with them, and remember always, the ultimate is Jannah. So even in marriage, you are striving through this marriage to be in Jannah. Respect your husbands. Don't argue unnecessarily. You will make your home a very sweet one. Your husband will be out there and will always be yearning to come back home. All those people who go and sit at base and all those things. Look, there's no peace at home. Immediately the man gets home. Let us avoid all those things. Your man goes out and he's yearning to come home, to be with the family, so that the two of you can, can make meaningful and informed decisions about your children, if any. It is very, very important. Make the man happy. Make him the comforts of your hearts, and you will also become the coolness of his heart. It's so important to me. Marriage is so important to me. Please do all you can to please your man. And husbands, if you are listening, treat women with care. She's already what she is. If you try to straighten her, you break her. If you leave her as she is, she will remain crooked. So treat women with care. That is what I will tell the men also. It is very, very important. There's nothing like a happy home.
Yeah.
A happy home. If we all want to go back to a happy home. Look, just a little analogy. One of my daughters got married recently, about a month and a half. Yeah, and then after, she was working before, and then after she got married, her employer told her that after a month she should start working. After a month, imagine. And then, okay, looking at the realities we find ourselves in economically and all that, she had to also do something to help her husband. Her husband agreed that she should. Fine. Yesterday she called me, and because of Ramadan, they had to do some adjustments. But her employer was also insisting that she has to come to work normally the way she used to before marriage, from morning till whatever time. And it's not going to be possible now that she is married. So we had to, back and forth. Then her employer agreed that, okay, she would come and close at 4. If she can't close at 4, if she would close earlier than 4, then she would employ someone else, because she had already brought in someone to fill in the gap. Fine, she would maintain that lady and blah, 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 blah. Okay, call me 4 o'clock. That's fine, call me. The husband agreed. Yesterday, She called and told me, she said, Mommy, said my husband says today, like what was yesterday, she shouldn't go to work. She shouldn't go. So I said, so what have you done? Have you called your employer to tell her you are not coming? She said she doesn't even know because the woman is threatening that if she doesn't come, even if she goes off for one day, she'll bring in another person. And also she doesn't even know what to tell the woman. I said, no, you have to tell her something. I said, I don't want to come in again because it looks as if we are taking the piss, calling always for excuses. And some of these things, you know, we have to wait for serious problems to intervene and not. So you try and call the woman. So she called the woman and told her that she couldn't make it yesterday. Okay. So I told her, I said, you know something? For agreeing not to go and not arguing with your husband, that hey, I have to go, and you know, I have to go, Allah will bless you. And I want to advise you. You said he is going to work. When he comes back home, don't let him see any sign on your face to show that because he said you shouldn't go, you are upset, you are angry. I said, no. I said, don't show anything, don't be upset. I said, because it is his right. It is his right to ask you to stay at home. When you were not married, your parents had rights over you. Now that you're married, between your husband and your parents, I said, look, if you want to come and see me, say, darling, please, I want to go and see mommy. And he says, don't go, don't come. Darling, mommy is sick, I have to go and see her, don't go. Don't go, please don't come. Darling, mommy is dead, I have to go and don't go. And he said, don't come. He is your husband. Give him that respect. When he comes back home, receive him nicely. Do all the nice things. Do it. Be over the top. Don't let him feel that because he told you not to go, you were upset, but rather be happy. Because Allah will bless you for even listening to your husband. She said, Mommy Naji. I said, do you hear me? She said, yes. I said, I don't want him to call and tell me, you see, yesterday, because I told her not to go, she didn't give me food. She's not even talking to you. I said, I don't want to hear that. It is his right to tell you not to go, and you are to obey him. Just forget about it and be happy. Let's see what happens next week. If he tells you not to go again, Allah will open doors for both you and your husband. So please, this is my little advice to all of us here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, Hajia. That's wonderful.
I just want to say something before you just take the listening. I just want to, first of all, just to tell you that I want to thank Hajia personally, because it was our mom, Hajia Samia, who was supposed to host this session as our facilitator. Hajia had some engagements, so she contacted Hajia, and I'm so impressed with a short notice that we even gave her. She gladly accepted to facilitate this particular session, and it shows that she enjoys talking about the deen. She enjoys talking to her fellow sisters, her fellow daughters. She enjoys, and if you listen, she has shared with her personal experience. And I want to personally pray for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless her, not just her family, and anything that she's doing. Allah should raise her in the work that she's doing. Allah should protect her and grant her more knowledge and wisdom to be able to continue this effort, because we need women like this, women who have actually risen to the highest level, because she's the director of the Free Zones Board at the Takrady, the Western region. And if you know what Free Zones is, you should know the kind of portfolio she's holding. And with all this, she's able to come to our level and advise us to our level. I just want to play with you, Sister Maria. Apart from the lecture that we'll have with Brother Rwanda is suggesting, I think we also need Hajia for special sessions for our sisters. special one for our sisters.
Please, you're out of it.
Yes. Special ones just for the sisters, because sometimes some things are better said in a room. So I'm sure what you just for the sisters to be able to learn from the wealth of experience that Allah has blessed her with. And I also like to thank our Mira. She's been working behind the scenes. I quite remember I have to call her when we were fixing this meeting, and she's been very exceptional. And also our host, may Allah bless you immensely. And thank you very much.
Joffrey, can I get a special dispensation, please? Special dispensations, please. To Hajia, I think I've never met her before. You know, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate I'm not in town. It's unfortunate I'm not in town. I would have gone to see her personally. The advice she gave, wallahi, is sunnatic, is dinatic, and is Quranic.
Allah Akbar.
It's
very powerful.
Wallahi, it's got nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with Western influence or nominal Islam understanding. It's perfect, and I hope that part, you know, we can cut just that advice, the audio, and put it, because it summarizes everything that we said, and put it on the AN-NUR page for those who didn't get.
I think to listen. But Salim will do that for us.
Just that part, because just that part, it solves a lot of issues in the home, and when the home is good, the society is good. Well, Hajia, may Allah bless you. You know, give you everything you want. I mean, protect you from your seeds, increase you in Iman. Yeah. And as for me, the topic I raised, wallahi, is not to disrespect any woman.
It's for another session, inshallah.
Yes, it's not to disrespect anybody or the ladies. I only learn, and then I put out what I know based on what is enshrined in the Quran and the Sunnah. Wallahi, it's not to disrespect anybody. Wallahi.
Yes.
Okay.
There will be another session for you, don't worry. And like Brother Geoffrey said, that we will be having another session for only women, ladies only. The men are not in. We'll talk about sensitive issues and all that with Hajia. Hajia, thank you very, very much for coming and for coming within this short notice.
Don't mention at all, Sister Amina. I hope the sensitive issues, when we talk about them, when you go, you will not put them under your pillow, but you will practice them and make them happy. Because the men will give me feedback. The men will give me feedback. I'll have another session with the men and then take their feedback.
Yes, we'll give Hajia feedback.
Yes.
Of course.
MashaAllah. So I'll actually tell Hajia Samia that she got us a perfect replacement. Seriously, like, because I know Hajia, the way she's very open about a lot of issues. So when she said, "Oh, she came," I said, "Oh, Hajia, Allahu Akbar." So I was just worried, sincerely, but like, I couldn't start the session with you, but just your last comments, so awesome. Like Ridwan said, maybe Allah accept from us, and we'll try to work on the small portion of it and share it on the social media, inshallah.
Yes. Thank you all for coming. Do have a wonderful rest of your day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum.